It is Robin season. And this Sunday, there's going to be a Bayou burglary. Lord Brunson is here. I am Adrian Fedq. Go get your ski masks. It's happening. The Saints are going down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. When you talk about Robin season, this fan base embodies Robin season. Dude, I'm so ready for this game. I'm tired of all the talking. I just think we're better. I think we're better. I don't think this is going to be the same outcome. I think we're better. I'm just anxious to see what both of our subscriber accounts think at this point because, man, you've done enough talking. The Eagles have done enough talking. What do you call it? What do you call it, Adrian? What's your score? What's your final score?
I got right now, I'm thinking 31-28. I think the first team to score 30, I think is going to win this game. It's a bad matchup for the Eagles, but you can throw it on the Saints. And teams have been throwing on the Saints recently. You look at that Steelers game, Ben Roethlisberger able to throw it around. But the Eagles have a better defense than the Steelers. You flip that score around. That score was 31-28. Saints over the Steelers. I got 31-28 Eagles over the Saints.
I'm kind of in that same ballpark. I think we can win it with less than 30. I think we can get these guys actually out of here 28-21. I think Nick Foles throws 4 touchdowns. I have no faith in the Saints defense at this point. Listen, we went against the number 1 defense two times in the last 2 postseasons. Went against the number 1 defense. Nick Foles and Alshon Jeffrey cannot be stopped at this point. Zach Ertz, I think he breaks out this game, but Alshon Jeffrey has always been an X factor to me. Too big, probably the best receiver left in the playoffs, in my opinion. I think we have a huge day running the game. It's just so many ways we could beat these guys. But can we stop Drew Brees? That's the main problem. Can we get enough pressure on Drew Brees?
Yeah.
What do you think about these guys' schedule? Because to my knowledge, they only played 3 teams that made the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Bears, all right? Like the Bears, that was Cupcake City. And the Bears fans, they didn't want to hear it, but it was the truth. With the Saints, they did play in the NFC South. The NFC South as a whole, it was down, but all the teams are still pretty good. I'd say they'd still played some teams, but here's the thing though, and I just made a video about this. This Saints offense ain't the same. It's not the same as it was in the middle of the season. So heading into, right after the Eagles game, they were averaging 37.5 points per game. But after that game, over the final 5 games, I excluded week 17 because that was meaningless. They averaged 22.4 points per game. So that's a precipitous drop. That's a 15-point drop by that offense. So you look at this matchup, it's all right, Eagles really don't match up well against the Saints because you look at, what beats the Eagles, what's their kryptonite. Teams that can get the ball out quick. But if there's a time to play this game, it's right now. It's this Sunday. The Eagles have a chance. They're red hot. They got the passing game going. Nick Foles is going. They can beat the Saints.
We can beat the Saints. So my question to the rest.
They are. They are beating the Saints. Let's get it right.
I like that. I like that energy. But what makes everybody think that this can't be done? I mean, it's I got the butterfly effect. When I say it, it happens. And if it doesn't happen, I'll own up to it. But these guys are no guys. They're nobody we should be afraid of. We're the defending Super Bowl champions. You got to take us serious at this point. It's not magic. It's not luck. It is what it is. Point blank, period. It is what it is. And I think 2 games that you could look at as a staple or as a blueprint on how to beat these guys is that first meeting against the Panthers, where I think the Panthers held them to 15, correct me if I'm wrong, and that meeting against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what they did is a lot of guys like to bring the outside pressure when you're facing Drew Brees. What does that allow Drew Brees to do with him being a smaller guy? Step up and make the throw. If you bring direct pressure into the face of Drew Brees and get your hands up, and if you're a 6'5" lineman, this guy's barely 6 feet, you can tip some balls, you can rattle his cage. Push the lineman into Drew Brees. Don't go around and try to get him. He's going to step up. I think that's a big key to this game.
All right, I got some numbers here to back up your point because I was about to get to Drew Brees. So from inside the pocket, these numbers are from Ron Jaworski, so you can just go to his Twitter. His passer rating from inside the pocket, 118.7, 77% completion percentage. Outside the pocket, passer rating down to 83.4, 47.6%. his 83.4 passer rating, 22nd from outside the pocket out of all quarterbacks. So as you can see, you got to get him away from his landing point. And
exactly.
Yeah, so that's Fletcher Cox and that deep penetration. But it's not only going to be Fletcher. I think they're going. Well, Timmy Jernigan's been a beast since he's come back, but I think what they're going to do too. I think we're going to see more of Michael Bennett at D tackle. We've been seeing that in the second half of the season, a lot of that, but I think we're even going to see it even more because getting the pressure in Drew Brees' face. You got to make a grilled Brees sandwich. Fletcher Cox on one side, and then Michael Bennett on the other. That's what you do.
I like it. I would love to see. Is Haloti not on injury reserve? I would love to see the big guy get some of those inside snaps as well. I mean, if we push this pocket back, and it just backs up what Ron Jaworski was saying, it backs up Jaws perfectly. Pushing the pocket towards Drew Brees gets him out of the pocket. When you go around, he steps up and makes those high percentage throws and hits Kamara, which is probably the most dangerous weapon on the field for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, no linebacker in the NFL can match up with Kamara. Let's be serious. He steps in that pocket, hits that guy in the flat, hits that guy, you could be toast. Yep. You bring the pressure to Drew Brees, and you make this guy not be like these guys. I'm looking forward to this opportunity because a lot of people think that it's so scary to play these guys in the dome. What are they, 5-0 playoff games, Drew Brees in the dome? That shit gets a one in the loss. They get a one in the loss column this time. And I'm a firm believer that we're going to get the job done. I want to see Josh Adams. I think what we did against the Chicago Bears, bringing in the smaller guys so they can hide and camouflage so they won't get swallowed up by that monstrous defense in front of the Chicago Bears. I think Josh Adams is able to break some tackles and just make a lot of things happen. So I want to see more of Josh Adams.
Okay. We talk about the blueprint. You brought it up earlier with the Cowboys and the Panthers. So what these two teams did, really physical with the cornerbacks on Michael Thomas. That's what you got to do. That's how you got to play them. Now, here's the thing, though, with the Eagles. They play more off. So it'll be interesting to see if they play a little bit more press because that's kind of how you have to go. And if Michael Thomas, I mean, if you're going to play press with Avonte Maddox, it's not really a fair matchup because Avonte is kind of smaller. So that's the matchup I'm interested to see. Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield with Dallas. You know, they got the linebackers and Carolina as well. They got Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. And then with Dallas, it's Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, just very instinctual, very athletic linebackers. I'm curious to see how Nigel Bradham can handle Kamara. Bradham, you know, he's not as athletic as those guys, but he does play instinctually. And if he can take the proper angles and make immediate tackles and limit the yards after the catch, that's how you got to play Kamara.
I agree with you. Now, as far as our cornerbacks go, as far as Rasul Douglas, I think Rasul Douglas is probably the most physical corner we have out there. Yeah. But can Rasul Douglas play bump and run coverage? He's been tackling really well the last couple of games. Can he play bump and run coverage?
Yeah, he would be better suited for the press than Avonte. I think Avonte is better in off. Because even last week, like the times that he got beaten on the double moves, he was close to the line of scrimmage. It seemed like so. I think he's just better off in off coverage, and you know we'll see. We'll see if that blueprint was found on Avonte last week. The double move. I'm sure the Saints are looking at the tape, but I'm sure the Eagles are going to try and correct it as well. So, because Avonte Maddox, he's been such a revelation for the secondary this year, and hopefully there's no blueprint on him now.
Well, the way I see what happened to Avonte Maddox in the second half of the game was he got a taste of success. He got his hands on a few balls, and then he thought he can get to the ball before the wide receivers, and they used it against him. He has to play sound. He has to play better. And what we have to do is also camouflage his weaknesses. How about we bring somebody over the top? And we know he's going to be aggressive underneath. Then they're going to try to bounce him out and go over the top on him. Then we got to bring somebody over there to help the guy out. A lot of times when we bite on double moves all season, nobody's there to have the back of the cornerback. Have somebody over top, especially on the 3rd and long.
Yeah,
I think that could work out for us as well. But I don't know how it's going to go, but I just know that we're going to beat these guys. And I think it's about time for a special teams touchdown. I think it's about time for one.
Yeah. Dude, by the way, this returner, Scott, I think he stinks. I don't know why he's returning kicks. I mean, just put Darren Sproles back there and return. I don't get that. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused there.
Well, it kind of makes sense to me because I think that they're using Darren Sproles more in the run game, and they don't want to just exhaust him. He is older. They don't want him doing both. He's getting a lot this year, especially coming back after missing the first 8 or so games. So he's getting quite a bit of carries. I don't know. Everybody's been looking shaky on punt return to me. It's not one guy I trust back there at all, to be honest. I think everything should be a fair.
Who looked good as a kick returner was Shelton Gibson. If there was one guy that could return kicks, it was him. And then that faded away. And this Scott guy can't even get to the 15-yard line. He's awful. He's terrible.
Yeah, but I play quite a bit of Madden, but I think he's like the fastest goddamn dude on the game for some reason.
He can be as fast as he wants, but he can't freaking hit a hole.
Yeah, that's true. So, what would you say your keys to victory for this game is? Yeah. What would you say? Give me your main 3 things we have to do.
Well, you got to protect Nick Foles. That is number 1. They have 49 sacks on the season. You got to stop Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan coming off the edge, plays with those heavy hands. That's going to be a tough matchup. You got Sheldon Rankins coming through the middle. You're going to have to protect him. But, this offensive line, it's been like a complete 180 from the beginning of the season. They held down Khalil Mack. I mean, they started Khalil Mack on Lane Johnson, and then, Lane Johnson was the Mack daddy. Then they put him on the other side on Jason Peters, and then Jason Peters was the Mack daddy. Khalil Mack did nothing on Sunday. So you go from Khalil Mack to Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan's very underrated. But if you can handle Khalil Mack, I would think you can handle Cam Jordan. So if this offensive line can continue to punish opponents, well, that opens up the passing game. And this passing defense of the Saints, 100.3 quarterback rating allowed. That's 27th in the NFL. So if you give Nick Foles the time, you can pick apart this secondary. That's the number 1 key to the game.
Okay, I like that. I think my number 1 key to the game is just long drives. I think we want to keep this offense on the sideline as long as possible. And the quarterback rating against the Saints that you pointed out, against their secondary, I think we're able to string together some 9, 10, 11 play drives, milk the clock, tire out that defense. Listen, these guys haven't played in 3 weeks now?
Yep.
The more time on the field for this Saints team, the less time they get to knock the rust off. I think we accept it. We get the kick if we can. I think we get the ball immediately. Go up 7-zip. Wear these guys down. Let these guys have to back up all the trash that they've been talking on the offensive side of the ball. They know the defense is their handicap. Listen, man, sitting down for an NFL player for 3 weeks ain't good for nobody. Drew Brees will be okay, but the rest of these guys, those jitters are going to hit. It's not going to be the same result. And for Saints fans who are already looking past us, thinking they got a one-way ticket to the goddamn Super Bowl, they lost their mind. They're completely mistaken. Just like these sorry-ass Dallas Cowboys fans who think that they can look past the Rams. They think they dodged a bullet because they wanted us to win so they wouldn't have to go to New Orleans. We'll take it on. We're the real kings of the NFC East. We'll take the challenge on, and we're going to knock them off. We're going to knock them off, man.
There it is.
I can't wait.
I by the way, I completely agree with you. Like if one of my 3 points, that would probably be on mine as well. I didn't come up with 3. I just kind of we're just bullshitting here, but that would be one of mine because that's how you play defense is by keeping their offense.
Yeah.
You long sustaining drives. You talked about it. 9, 10 play drives. You drain 5 to 10 minutes off the clock. That's what you do to beat the Saints. Your normal football game has about 12 possessions in it. If you limit this game, say, to 8 possessions, you got a great shot. That's how you beat the Saints.
Yeah. I didn't know that the normal football game has about 12 possessions. So I'll be counting possessions on Sunday for sure.
Yeah.
Let's keep them down to 8.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because they might have had 8 at halftime in the first meeting.
Yeah, dude. Yep. They were all up and down the field, man. They really were. Just scoring quickly, scoring at will. And so they play more of that, say 14 possession. Well, maybe not because they kind of run the ball a lot, but we want to go 10-ish,
Yeah.
because we want to keep that clock drained and moving. Another key of mine. I mean, we talked about it already. I think the penetration up the middle from Fletcher Cox, Michael Bennett, from Timmy Rudigan. I think that's important because we talked about the numbers from Drew Brees outside the pocket. If he's able to work that pocket all day long, I know he's going to get it out quick. It's going to be tough to pressure him. But if the way you pressure him quickly is through the middle, it's easier to pressure you quickly through the middle than it is on the edges. So Fletcher Cox, Timmy Jernigan, and Michael Bennett, those guys, they got to get going. Right.
Yeah, I think they're up for the task, man. I think the thing about this is we could have been got fat and been got greedy of our success last year, but certain things happened to us in the during the course of the season, like getting punched in the mouth by the Saints, being 4-6, everybody writing us off. Certain things happened that kept us hungry. 48-7, it doesn't get much hungrier than that. I think the hunger is back. Everything is back. But quick question for you, Adrian.
Yep.
Do you think they were running up the score?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was a point in the season where they got cocky. They were getting confident because they were putting up 50 each and every week. So they're running up the score, yeah. But you know what? Eagles were running up the score last year on some teams. So you know what? They want to do it.
Yeah.
They want to motivate us. Fine, because it's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
One other guy we got to watch out for is that backup kicker. I mean, the backup quarterback, Hill, I believe his name is.
Taysom
They
Hill.
like to use that guy very sneakily, yeah.
Yep.
I like to use that guy in some spots where you got to always take account of that guy when he's on the field, especially at the same time as Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. And I'm
just excited,
dude. We got way too long until game time. It's only Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Man. All right. So I want to bring up the interior of their line because I think it is important with Cox and Bennett getting the pressure. So Ron Armstead is their left tackle. Really good. Going to be tough to get pressure on him. But Andrus Peat, I think that's a matchup maybe you can get after. Their left guard, he was a first-round pick in 2015. I think, Michael Bennett might be able to get some on him. Max Unger is their center, obviously great. Larry Warford is their right guard. That's who's going to be on Fletcher Cox. And then Ryan Ramczyk, first-rounder last year, their right tackle's pretty good. So their offensive line got good in a hurry. It got good quickly. So that's going to be the test right there. And then other things, I mean, the other guy you got to limit is Traquan Smith. Everyone talks about Michael Thomas and Kamara, but Traquan Smith is kind of underrated for them. Gotta watch out for him too.
Is the offensive line good, or are they just getting the ball out fast?
I think their line is really good. I think their line's pretty legit.
Okay.
I think it's pretty legit.
Okay. Because Brees, I don't think anybody's getting the ball out of their hands quicker than Brees.
Yeah, I mean that's what he does. I mean that dude's unbelievable. He gets it out quick. But I do think their line's legit. Like I'm a big Teron Armstead fan. I think he's like I don't know if he's a top 10 tackle, but he's definitely 10 to 15, and he might be fringe top 10. And then Ryan Ramczyk I think has really come on this year. Larry Warford used to be better. He's just a guy kind of now. But I think he's still solid. And then you got Max Unger. I mean, that guy is a beast. And then if there is a weakness, I think it's Andrus Peat, their left guard. So pretty solid.
I think we sent a couple stunts his way.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think anybody in the NFL, any coach, adjusts better than Doug Peterson, man. I mean, a lot of people wrote Doug off in the beginning. When he iced that kicker, I said, "That's my coach." I thought they were going to make it, but I think Doug Peterson really puts on his A game, man. I think there's no 4th and 1 that we don't go for in this game. I think we go for the kill.
Yeah, go for it, man.
We go for the kill, man. It's like what a time to be an Eagles fan. I'm just excited for the fan base. We got the opportunity to go to the second consecutive NFC Championship game, but it's in a different era where we actually completed the mission. So we're not about to go to 5 straight NFC champions without a Super Bowl. We're about to go right back to the NFC title game. And I believe if we beat the Saints, I believe we win Super Bowl 53.
I agree.
If we beat the Saints, we punch our ticket to Atlanta and we take out whoever's in the AFC. I think we're clicking on all cylinders. And this is the final test for us. I mean, I believe the Rams are going to beat the Cowboys, but who really cares about that? I believe the Rams are going to beat the Cowboys, but what's so special about what's McVay? What's so special about the guy? I just don't get it.
Well, you're going to have a home game in LA, So you're going to win that one. I think the Cowboys are going to pull off the upset.
You think so?
I do.
I hate them so much. I just don't want them to. They got a chance though.
I think that their defensive line is unbelievable. And you look at the way the Rams play and the deep play action that they like to employ, it's kind of favoring Dallas here. I know they're 7-point dogs, but I think they got a shot. I think this is going to be a Dallas-Philly NFC championship.
Yeah, and I think Dallas actually trains out there, don't they, during the offseason? I think they got a lot of fans out there.
Oh, yeah?
They got a lot of fans out there.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll have to look that up after the show.
So if this ends up being a home game for Dallas, Dallas has worldwide fans. This actually could swing in favor of Dallas. It's going to be interesting to watch. A dream scenario for me will be waking up Sunday morning and Dallas is gone. That'll be a dream scenario for me. Waking up, they're gone, and we get to play, and they get to hate on us from their couches. But man,
well, it doesn't matter who they play. If the Eagles win Sunday, they're going to win regardless. They're better than both.
True.
Right now at the moment.
True.
So on the AFC side, I would say that I probably wouldn't want to play the Patriots or the Chargers more than the other teams. But I, by no means, am scared of both teams. I mean, they beat the Patriots last year. Great game, obviously. Chargers could be tough. They're getting hot at the right time. But I think you can beat them too. I think the Saints are the best team left.
I wouldn't sleep on the Chiefs either, but I do think the Saints are the best team left. This is around the time where Andy Reid just collapses for Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I think the Saints are the best team left.
Yeah.
The Saints are the best team left. I would agree there.
I think we're the second best team left. Like playing like the second best team right now. Like you can throw the 9-7 record out. It doesn't matter. The way
it doesn't matter. I mean,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because
when we beat the Saints, we would have beaten the first, second, and third seed within the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we took out the Rams earlier.
Yep. Here's why it doesn't matter. Here's why 9-7 doesn't matter. Because in the last month, they are averaging 2.5 sacks a game, or actually it's 3.5 sacks a game. That would be first in the NFL. Kansas City and Pittsburgh, 52, led the NFL. 52 divided by 16, that's 3.5. So you're getting pressure. That would be the best in the NFL. Rush defense, 2.5 yards per carry the last month. That's unbelievable. It was 4.7 the entire year. So you're getting that. Since the Saints game, they're averaging 25.4 points per game. I mean, they were scoring the low 20s, and now it's down to 18.9 points allowed. They're under 20 points allowed, which is great in today's NFL, considering the Chicago Bears led it 17.7. So things are beginning to turn around. The offensive line has basically not allowed a sack to Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, anybody. Everything is getting turned around with this team. They're playing like a.
Also, I believe, did we finish with the #1 red zone defense?
I can look that up right now, but I
think we finished with the #1 red zone defense too. So you're right, man. Everything we are not the team we started off as.
No.
On paper or whatever, the swagger, everything on paper, we're not the team we started out as. And I believe we're top dog. Listen. If you want to beat the champion, you got to knock the champ out. I believe we're top dog. I think we're the best team in the playoffs right now. The Saints might be the best opponent left, but I believe right now we're still top dog. The target is still on our back.
Yeah.
I just feel that way right now with the way we're playing. How sweet would a repeat be? Not to even jump ahead a few games, but how sweet would that be? How sweet would that be?
Dude, I talked about last year, and I was like, man, like, it's not going to get better than this in terms of a story. Well, it may have.
No.
It may have. It may have gotten better. Because this a 6 seed where you go 9-7, you thought you were done when you were 4-6. It's like season was over. It was like the Super Bowl hangover, all that. And then they get hot. And then like crazy stuff starts happening. The freaking Vikings just collapse and they choke. We get in because of that. So we troll them again to get into the playoffs. That's outstanding in itself. Like, fuck Minnesota. So you get that, and then this first game, this Bears game, the way that ended. I mean, I'm like still shaking from the outcome. It just I don't know if I've ever been as nervous as that moment when the kick was up in the air. And it's like now you're playing the Saints. They beat you 48-7. You may get to play the Cowboys next week. It's like this script is almost better than it was last year.
I think you have to write a movie solely on Doug Peterson and Nick Foles. I think the movie has to be called The Philly Special. I mean, if we beat the New Orleans Saints, this will be Drew Brees' first playoff loss at home.
Yeah.
This will be his first playoff loss at home. This will be a monumental win. This is possibly the second biggest win of our franchise's history. If we take these guys out, this game is huge. I think this game breaks ratings records. Everybody's waiting for this game. It's just not us. I mean, this game is huge. We are the ultimate underdog. The story of the underdog. It just Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, will never be the same if we do this. I just think this win right here puts us on a different stratosphere, man, and we need it, and I want it.
Yeah,
and we're going to get it.
And it's like we're seeing a complete reversal to the way it used to be in Philadelphia. 10 years ago, that double doink goes in. Now it doesn't. It doesn't go in anymore. Something happened.
The ball is rolling our way, man, and then a lot of people like Nick to the same old Nick Foles. Well, before he was a Super Bowl MVP, he threw 7 touchdowns in a game, had a Pro Bowl selection. Nick Foles has always been sturdy. He's always been good. So if everybody's waiting for this guy to turn into the same old, you'll be waiting for a very long time. Because he's always been good in my book.
Yeah. Well, I made a video the other day where I didn't always believe in Saint Nick. So there it is. I believe in him now, though. All right, I got your red zone numbers for you. So the Eagles did lead the NFL in red zone defense, giving up 42.37% of the time. So that's pretty good numbers there. And the Saints were 24th, 63.27. So yeah, you know, Doug Peterson has been dialing up some great plays in the red zone lately. And that Saints defense isn't too hot in the red zone. I mean, that's just another advantage you have. So both teams are going to be going up and down the field. But can the Eagles allow some field goals instead of some touchdowns? That's what's going to help win you this ball game if you're going to go back and forth in a shootout.
I think Jake Elliott would be huge, man, because that Parkey miss could have easily been Jake Elliott, man, with how he's been looking this year to me. I think Jake Elliott has to be clutch. He has to take we can't afford a missed extra point in this game. What we're supposed to get, we're supposed to get it. You know what I mean? We cannot afford a missed extra point. I think Jake Elliott plays a big part in this one too. I'm just ready, man. But yeah, man. I gotta run, Adrian, man. My phone's about to die.
Okay.
got a lot of stuff. You know, man, we could be at this all day, man. I look forward to watching the replay of the video. I'll also take the link, put it everywhere it's supposed to be, man. Great stuff, man. I appreciate you having me, buddy.
Love it. Love it. All right. So you got any final thoughts? We did 30 minutes. So I wanted to do 30 minutes. We got it. So there you go.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, I just want to give a huge shout out to you. Huge shout out to the Bitter Birds. Huge shout out to Eagles Nation, man. This is Bully Brunson and Bitter Birds. More collabs coming soon. Deep penetration. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
Deep.
All right, man. Deep
penetration.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother. I'll let you run. Go get that phone charged.
Gotcha, bro.
Peace. All right. So there it is. Lord Brunson on BB. I'm Adrian Fedku. We're out. Peace.